Okay, so we's here now. I guess I need to pull this down a little bit. Hold on so you can see everything. Okay, here we go. All righty. Here we are. Hold on. Oh no. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Don't mean to turn my back on you, but can't be sneezing over the stuff. Allergies is up, the wind is blowing, and it's crazy. Okay. It's supposed to be cool this week. Instead, it's hot. And I've got on a long sleeve sweater because this is the Halloween show. Welcome, ghouls and goblins. Welcome to Grandma Hershey Cooks. I'm Grandma Hershey, spelled with a U and not an E, so don't get it twisted. Okay. So today we'll be making a special treat. This recipe you're going to use if it's for Valentine's Day, anniversary day, a birthday, or a day when you just want to be special for yourself, because we are using bison in the recipe. Yes, it costs more than ground turkey and ground chicken. It might be neck and neck with ground beef these days, but anywho, it is really good. So, oh, wrong cue card. Anywho, I'm calling this the meatloaf shepherd pie, okay? Because we made individual meatloaves with the bison. All right. Now, all these, they had a pound of bison for practically $10. It was $9 or something other. Anywho, $10 when you ask me, if you ask me. So, anywho, but it's cheaper than the other stores. So, if you feel special and you want to get some bison for this recipe, go right ahead, because I did. And if you feel like you can't afford it at the moment, get you some ground turkey or ground beef, whichever you prefer. But I love me some bison, okay? And I did learn something today when I did my research. All these years, I was told there was the same thing as buffalo, and I got the research to say it's different. Who knew? I didn't, evidently. Anywho, we're gonna go with the healthy highlights. Now remember, this is a complete meal. You got your starch, you got your veggies, and you got your meat. So this is not a bad healthy highlight. So the calories for the whole meal, for one serving, because it's 4 servings in the whole meal, is 429.2. Where are you going to go and find a whole meal for 429 calories? You'll get that in a burger. Okay. Then the saturated fat is 14.1. And the only reason it has that much is because of the butter and the cheese, because bison itself is only 0.4 grams of saturated fat. See what I'm talking about? If you want to just eat it by itself, go right ahead. Then the cholesterol for the whole thing is 136.3. It's because we have an egg in it and because we have some cheese in it. It wasn't because of that bison, okay? The sodium is 524.8. That's not bad for a whole meal. See what I'm talking about? Grandma Hershey looking out for you. Then the sugar. Ready, diabetics? And all you watching your loveliness, the sugar is 6.2 for the whole meal. And that includes some barbecue sauce. That's part of what's making it that little bit. Okay. Not bad at all. Then the protein, and that's mostly from the bison, is 34.5. That is good protein for a meal. Okay. Then the carbs, the total carbs, the regular carbs is 30.8. Okay, it's not keto low, but it's low according to FDA for your regular low carbs. And that's before the fiber. The fiber is 3.6. So the net carbs is 27.2. That is not bad for a whole meal. Okay. Now let's talk about some health benefits of bison. Now you know Grandma Hershey gonna sound smart today. She did some research. Now this was written by Parang Mehta, and I sure hope I said your name right, honey. Okay, and it was medically reviewed by Christine Mixtas, who is a RD and an LD, and this was done on June 14th of this year. So this is very recent. Okay, so what is bison? I'm glad you asked. American bison are large animals with a prominent hump. They're found all over the US and Canada. Bison are not the same as buffalo. I was told that years ago and believed that story. That's what I get for not doing research then. Okay. It's not the same as buffalo, though they are often called by their name because they do look so much alike. So-called buffalo burgers may actually have bison meat in them because buffalo lives in Asia and Africa. So we're not getting buffalo, we're getting bison. And that is in throughout the United States and in Canada. Okay. So bison burger is different than a buffalo burger. And if you're not in Asia or Africa, you probably getting bison. Okay, which is still good because I love it. All righty. And it is regulated, the bison is regulated by the FDA. Okay. Now, nutrition. Bison meat has a rich, sweet flavor. That's why I like it because it got a sweet taste to it. I just love it. Oh, and it has a low saturated fat content, which makes it both healthy and easy to cook. And it does, really. 4 ounces, which is 1 serving, provides 20 grams of protein, 178 calories, and 4 grams of saturated fat. It has almost no carbs or fiber. Bison meat also provides small amounts of iron, magnesium, calcium, zinc, and other minerals. It's very good for you. It is a complete protein source containing all 20 amino acids that human needs. Bison is really good for you. It's a little pricey, but hey, it's worth it, okay? Bison meat also contains conjugated linoleic acid, abbreviated as CLA. So if you see CLA, that's what they're talking about, which has anti-inflammatory properties. So if you have arthritis or something, then eat you some bison, okay? It has fewer calories and less saturated fat than beef. The only other meat that has less fat than bison is an elk. Okay. And so compared to beef, bison meat is also richer in protein. It reduces inflammation and lowers oxidative stress. So if you want something to chill with, make you a bison burger or bison meatloaf or a bison meatloaf sandwich. Bison, bison, bison. Okay. So I'm not saying don't eat beef, but a person like me, where beef hurts my stomach, bison is my alternative, and ground turkey, of course. So, but if you want something that tastes pretty much like the beef and you have beef issues, then you can get you some bison. Because beef is expensive too right now. So, hey, anywho, just wanted to share that with you. You know, Grandma Hershey always wanted to feel a little smart. Anywho, let's get on the moving here. So, anyway, with Grandma Hershey, I'm looking at down here. I'm looking at something. I don't think y'all can see it. Probably something my boss picked up. Anywho, we don't worry about that because y'all don't probably see it. Sometimes you see stuff on her and y'all don't see it. Anywho, so time is of the essence around here. Let's get to cracking. All right. So what I did have to do, because this is a process from beginning to end, would take too long for this show. All right. So I did go ahead and make the mashed potatoes, because that's going to be the very first thing that go into your pan. And I use my cheesy garlic mashed potato. And the recipe is on the content portion of this of the YouTube thingy there. You know what I'm talking about. Anywho, and then if you just want a paper thing, email me at grandmahursheycooks@gmail.com and I will send it to you. All righty. So as far as the blah, blah, blah. Anywho, the first thing that you really need to do, just look at the notes. You know how Grandma Hershey is. So these are the ingredients. You got 1 pound of bison, 1/4 of a large red bell pepper, 1/4 of a small sweet onion, and a half a teaspoon of Mrs. Dash onion and herbs, half a teaspoon of garlic and herb, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 egg. Now this was a trick because I did this in half, and I had to figure out how I'm gonna put an egg in half. So I just slightly beat it, and I looked at what it looked like whole in the little dish. Then I poured some into the dish, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I did half an egg. Okay, but the whole recipe is gonna be 1 egg. All righty. Then I use 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Sometimes we might use crackers or something like that in our meatloaf, but I use panko breadcrumbs this time. Worked out great. Then I had 6 tablespoons of Zota barbecue sauce. Now use your favorite sauce, but make sure it's low in sodium as you can possibly get. Okay. Then I did 6 tablespoons of ketchup. Ketchup, well, way your bottle spells it. And try to get as low sodium as possible. They do have this half and half, which is really good too. Okay. Then also for the meatloaves, I did a half a cup of shredded cheese. Now the cheddar Monterey works great, but whichever 2 cheese that you like the best, boo, that's what you do. Okay. Because I want you to love this. This is your bison shepherd pie. Okay. Then so that's going to be to itself. Let's go ahead and assemble that part of it. So your oven needs to be at 350 degrees. Okay. So we're going to put on our gloves. Grandma Hershey don't like stuff on her fingers. So we are going to put our gloves on and get surgical. How about that? We're going to get surgical today. Get these gloves on right. Yep. He's ready now. Wait, I'm gonna learn how to pop these things. There we go. Anywho, so now remember, what I'm mixing up is half the recipe, but you're going to use a whole pound. So this is the bison. Looks just like ground beef, don't it? I know it. Looks just like ground beef. So that's the bison. Then we're going to go ahead and put our bell pepper and onion in. It don't matter which order you put these in because this is for the meatloaf. Right. So we're going to go ahead and chop those up nice for you. Now, normally I saute my vegetables, but I kept forgetting and I forgot again. So we just going to put it in. It came out great. So anyway, whichever way you want to do it, we're going to put that in there. I think I put my gloves on, huh? Then we are going to take, what's on that list? Our seasoning. So what I did was I put the panko breadcrumbs along with the seasoning in here together. All right. We're going to put all that in there. Yep. Then we are going to put, which is normally going to be a whole egg when you make the whole recipe. All right. And that's going to help hold it together along with those panko breadcrumbs. Yes, sir, Bob. Then we are going to take a third of the barbecue sauce and a third of the ketchup, which is going to be 2 tablespoons of each. Okay. And I put those in here together. We're going to put that. That's going to give us a nice taste to the meatloaf. Yep. No, Grandma Hershey not going to steer you wrong on purpose. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and stir all that in here together. Or if you really want to get fancy, we can do one of these numbers and go in for the juggler and go ahead and mix it all in by hand. That's why you need your gloves on, okay? So that would have me in a tizzy right about now. But it mixes real easy like this. So once you get it mixed, now remember this is only half, so we're going to have 2 individuals. But when you have the whole recipe, you're going to divide that into 4 and make 4 individual meatloaves, okay? And so you're going to kind of shape it with your hands into a meatloaf look somewhat. I got to move these things off my pan. So to make the meatloaf part, you are going to have a separate pan because it needs to bake on 350 for 40 minutes. And I promise you, you don't need no more than that, okay? I mean, this is my second time making it. I made it for my niece in Colorado last week. Yes, indeed. And it came out so good. I said, I got to make that on the next show. Can't wait. I could not wait. Oh, it was so good. Okay, like I said, what in the world's going on here? Anywho, I don't know what that said for. I'm gonna turn it off in a minute. You get your bloopers here. It's a live show, so I'm done with these gloves. Yeah, and I gotta get over here and turn this off. Don't go nowhere. Oh, I'm supposed to eat my keto gummies. My second part. I'll eat them later. Okay. So anywho, we done with that part. So once you see how this is on my little pan, and then I like to cover it with the foil and then put it in the oven and bake it for 40 minutes. But we don't have time to wait for no 40 minutes. Okay. So I'll put this in later. So right now, I am going to put this bowl over here and put this over here. Don't fall. Okay, put that to the side. Now, what we're going to do is assemble the bottom part. While that's cooking, you want to boil your potatoes, put them in the microwave, whichever way you want to do it. Okay, so this is the mashed potato ingredients. You're going to have either, okay, in that bag of potatoes, not them big old giant baking potatoes. You're going to either have 5 of the little ones, 3 of the next size medium, or 2 of the regular one. They look kind of big and look like you're like, oh, that's a make a baked potato. You want 2 of those. That's all you're gonna need. So basically, you're gonna be eating a half of a potato. That's because you got all this other stuff. It's so good. Anywho, then you're gonna need 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter and 2 tablespoons of margarine. You know how we do the mix around here. Thanks to my beautiful sister. Then you're gonna need a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt for that, and a 1/2 teaspoon of the Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. Okay. And a 1/2 cup more of the shredded cheese. Like I said, the cheddar Monterey was good, but you use the 2 you like. Okay. Because if it tastes good, that's what you want. Okay. Whatever you like. Then you're going to need 1 cup of frozen peas. Now, Grandma Hershey thought she had frozen peas. What she had was frozen peas and carrots, because I love peas and carrots. So that's what we got in today's recipe, but it's still gonna taste good. Okay, I promise you. All right. So now we're going to assemble that. So you want there we go. So you want to spread your pan, which I did, and then you're going to take, because this is going to be the bottom part of it. That's why I kind of call it shepherd pie. My granddaughter said she called it the reverse shepherd pie. I was calling inverted shepherd pie. I'm just going to call it the meatloaf shepherd pie. Okay. So we already have these potatoes made. So we're going to put that in the pan. And I got the cheese and all that stuff in it already. Put that in the pan. Woo. And so normally you'll have a longer pan than this, but since we got half, I did half in a square pan, and then this half is going to be in a square pan. And then we're going to evenly spread it out. See, this here is actually 2 servings. I mean, just for those little potatoes. So when you eating potatoes, think about it. When you mash them, that's when you really see how much you're eating. That's why those dollars stretch when you have a large family. Yep. And so we're going to make this into a square, since that's what this is. Because when it's, I'll show you the finished product in a minute. All right. So we got that spread on here nice. Then we're going to add our peas and carrots. Okay. And now what I did when after I had took my potatoes out of the water that I boiled them in, then I kept that water to cook the peas and carrots in. Give you some more flavor. Yes, indeed. Okay, spread that on here, and then we are going to spread those out evenly. Come on, peas and carrots. I think the peas, you get more peas than you get with the peas and carrots. Not because it's just peas, but it just seemed like a 1/2 cup of peas was more than a 1/2 cup of peas with the carrots. In this case, is a cup. 1/2 cup here, but a cup whole. Okay. So anyway, it's spread out pretty good. And then once your meatloaf is done, once your meatloaf is done, I need a bigger table. That's what I need. So Grandma Hershey need. Once your meatloaf is done, this going to look. Put that there. Whew, okay. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you without a few cards. All righty. Come on, Grandma Hershey. Don't. Whew, Lord have mercy. I'm gonna get a bigger table. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Grandma Hershey gotta get a bigger table. Oh, good. Here's the finished product. See how they look? Because you're going to put the potato on, the meatloaf on top of your peas and carrots. And then once you put the meatloaf on top, and you don't have to do no draining because this is bison, which is don't have hardly any fat. Okay. So, but once you put the bison on top of you put each one on top, then you're going to put the rest of that barbecue sauce ketchup together and spread it on top of the meatloaf. Then you're going to take that other cheese, that half a cup, I believe that's what I said, and sprinkle it on top. And then you're going to bake this for 7 minutes because it's already done. All you want is for the cheese to melt. So now let's put this on the plate, put the one serving on the plate so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Oh, we get a bigger tape. Okay. So let's see. I don't know which one I want, but I'm going to take this down the middle. And then I'm going to scoop out, serving underneath. Woohoo! Almost lost my taters. Oh no, come on, taters. Okay, hold on. Where's my knife? Just had that knife. There we go. Okay. In my head, it was going to look a certain way. But that's not how it came out on the plate. So maybe I should have sprayed my spatula. But anywho, it still look good, don't it? It still look good. So, okay. So I got a knife. And I got a fork over here. Believe it or not, it's fell on the table too. Okay. So now we're going to do it. Okay. So we're going to cut and we're going to taste and make sure it's not poison. We're going to cut. I want you to be able to see this cut if I can keep it right. One of these pans is taller than the other. Okay. We're going to cut the meatloaf. See how easy that cut? So you can see what it looked like inside. Okay. And it's got some cheese and barbecue sauce on it. And then you're supposed to eat it with your mashed potatoes and peas like that. Okay. Now this is look like a whole lot, but anyway, we're gonna work with it. We're gonna taste it, make sure it's not poison. Okay. Just like I remembered it. This is real good. Okay. We're gonna take one for the team. Can't leave the team out. Okay. We're gonna take one for the team. Put all this on here at one time. This is good. Now, if you don't like your food touching each other, all I can say is low siento. Eat it the way you want to. Okay. Grandma Hershey like hers like this. We're gonna put that in the hookum section. Okay. That is so delicious. Yep. All right, now. What you need to do now is you need to put the thumbs up like this and click that. Okay. And then, if you have not subscribed already, go to subscribe and click it. Then you'll see a black bell at the top. Click that one. That way you'll know every time Grandma Hershey is coming on. Sometimes she likes to talk to you and just say hello and I love you. Okay. Or let you know something went crazy and we're going to redo it. It has happened. Okay. So, anywho, then in about a minute, after we're done with this show, you're going to share it with everyone you know. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your neighbors, and share it with your enemies because everybody got to eat. We got to feed the world. So I did ask the people that's on my email list, the people that's on my texting list, I asked them to help me in choosing the 4 recipes for November. Okay, I gave them 10 options. And so far, I got some pretty good feedback too. Thank you, thank you. And you can put in your suggestions on the I couldn't list, I didn't have enough space on that little box to list them all, but just put what you want. I can figure it out. Okay. So anywho, number one out of the whole list that was chosen was the sweet potato crumble cheesecake. I go figure. Because last year I made the sweet potato cheesecake. And no, it was the sweet potato cookies. And the first batch didn't come out quite right. Now, and my grandson, one of my grandsons said, "Oh, you can put this on top of a sweet potato cheesecake and make a crumble." I'm going, okay. So that was number one choice. The number two and number three choice so far were tied. And that was the Parmesan chicken and the honey mustard chicken wrap. Okay, I haven't made Parmesan chicken in a long time, but I love it. Okay. And then so far, the third place was the gumbo. I don't know if Grandma Hershey put her foot in her mouth on that one, but we're going to see about that. Okay. November, maybe for the Thanksgiving show. Maybe we can do it then. Okay. So, anywho, I do want to shout out to all those who contributed those 4 suggestions, which was Hillary, my sister, Shelly. That's not my sister name, but Shelly, Daryl, Jeanette, Marie, another person, I can't mention her name, but she know who she is, Emily, and Debbie, and Tiara. Anywho, those people were the ones who suggested those 4. And so far, those are the 4 that's on the list for next month. So we'll have another group on the last Tuesday of November for you to choose from. For December, we're going to try to make this fun, okay? So now that we got that figured out, our shout outs for those who watched the show last week that I know of, okay? My mentor, John. So if you need a business mentor, go to SCORE, all caps, SCORE, and they're all throughout the United States as well as in other countries, okay? And then Terry, my niece in Colorado, who y'all saw last week, my sister, my best friend Phyllis, Diana, the chopper lady, and Miss Darcy was in on it last week. Oh, Darcy. That's the dog. She is so sweet. And I may have the gender on as a she or he. I don't remember. I'm bad with that. Okay. So, lo siento. Darcy know who Darcy is. And I love Darcy. Okay. Then there's Najee. There's my brother who has the same, well, we're both named after my father, Hurley. Hurley and Herlicia. Great twin names, just saying. Then Andreas, who I had a great time with last week. And then Deborah, a different Deborah's. I've got 3 Deborahs, okay? The one up top was Debbie P, and this is Deborah K, okay? Watched the show last week. So if I didn't name your name, that means you didn't tell me you watched the show. So anywho, if you watched the show, please tell me, okay? And then we had 2 birthdays. And that was my beautiful sister-in-law, Charlotte, and my handsome brother, Hurley. Oh, their birthdays a day apart, and the anniversary 2 days before that. Go figure. God was doing some work, wasn't he? So they're going to get the birthday song. Y'all ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Charlotte and Hurley. Happy birthday to you. Mwah. Love you guys. Okay. So next week, out of those 4, Grandma Hershey got to vote next week. Don't forget to go vote next Tuesday, okay? So since Grandma Hershey have to go vote next week, we're going to make it simple. We're going to do the honey mustard chicken wrap first, okay? And we'll get to those other 3 unless somebody suggests other things in that list. I'll name off the list. Well, I can't. It's on my phone. Anywho, that's it for the show. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. And if you have a birthday, let me know. That's coming up. And I'll sing happy birthday to you too. And if you watch the show, I thank you. And all I can say right now is have a wonderful week. Hasta luego. Mwah. Let's see if the mouse gonna work right. I still don't know what this thing is over here. Oh Lordy, it's gonna be an issue. What is that? Okay, now we having a problem because I can't get to the thing. I got too much stuff over here. Okay, there we go. Okay, get your bloopers here. Still got an issue. Come on, Arrow. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna get a bigger table for next week. Okay. This thing don't want me to leave. Okay, I'm gonna go this way then. There we go. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.